have you ever come across, you could call them mercenaries?
Oh, yes,
with,
yes.
With respect to prior military in the U.S.?
Yes, funny story. Okay, year is roughly 2015-ish, 2016-ish, right? I'm on call, which when you're on call, you're basically, on the line for 24 hours, right? They can call you for anything. So I get a call. I'm like watching Breaking Bad or something like that. And Border Patrol calls me and says, hey, there's this guy here. He wants to provide information. We caught him at the border. Apparently he's been in informant before. He wants to talk to an HSI agent. He doesn't want to talk to Border Patrol. He wants to talk to somebody. So normally, right, you'd be like, man, I'm not going to go out for this because, you can get called at any time. So you want to conserve your energy and not go out for random calls. But me, I was like a go-getter. So I was like, you know what? I'll go out and talk to this guy. Let's see what he has to say. So I get dressed. I go over to the Border Patrol station, Laredo South, right there on 109 Shiloh Drive. And I go there and I sit down and I talk with him. And I'm like, so, hey, what's up, man? And I get his information, right? He only wanted to talk to me. He didn't want to talk to any Border Patrol agents. So I was like, okay. As I'm sitting there talking to him, he tells me basically that he's a hitman for the Zetas and that he worked for the Trevino's. And for those that are unaware, the Trevino's basically ran the Los Zetas cartel for many years. They use call signs Z42, Z40, etc. And he would work for these guys. And his job was, he was basically the guy that ran like cover fire. So when they would move around Nuevo Laredo, because there was a war at the time, 2014 and like 2018, the whole time I was there was like a war between the Mexican Marines and the Los Zetas. His job was anytime they move around in their motorcade and they were getting attacked by the Mexican Marines, his job was to get out the car and start shooting back at the Mexican Marines to create a diversion to allow his boss to escape. Because since the Marines didn't know which car he was in, they would have these diversion techniques. They're like a paramilitary organization. They have these diversion techniques to ensure that the boss always got away. So, and it's interesting because like as he was telling me this story, he was just so like candid and matter of fact about it. He's like, yeah. So I get out the car, I pull out my AK, and I just start shooting at him. And what I do is I try to confirm as many kills as I can because I get a bonus. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I get a bonus. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. So what I would do is like after I shoot them and I know someone's dead, like I'll go up to the body and I'll cut a finger off. And I would get a bonus per finger that I brought over to the boss. He would get like $1,000 per person he killed or some crazy stuff like that. And he would have to cut the finger off to confirm it when he brought it back to the boss. And it wasn't so much the story was crazy. It was more how he told the story with just plain face, didn't care. It was like, he was like talking like, yeah, this is what I do for work, man. This is my job description. And I guess that's what ends up happening, where when you're doing this as a job all the time for years and years and years, you have to just kind of like look at it that way and just become stone cold. And he was giving me a bunch of information. Basically, he wanted to give information on the Moraleses because I think he got betrayed and he was pissed off. And I was in a human smuggling group at the time. I had a buddy who was in the border violence / kidnapping group, or also known as BEST, Border Enforcement Security Task Force, which is all over the United States. I called him up, hey, got this guy here. It's probably going to be a good source. He came, took it over from there, and I handed him off. But that was something that will always stick with me, how he talked about killing Mexican Marines and how we would go over to the bodies after and cut the fingers off so that he can, claim his prize at the end of the day. Absolutely wild.